So, my theory, why boomers are the way boomers are. So, um, the theory is that boomers they thought that their parents' World War II trauma was because of them. And that because their parents were traumatized as hell, but they would never talk about what happened. So what's a kid gonna do if it grows up and his parents are all emotionally disturbed and nobody talks about why? He's gonna assume it's because of him. So, and then what the boomers did is they then gave that trauma to their kids. So there's that, and it's guilt. It's like the secular transmission of original sin, because World War II was the destruction of the world, and the atom bombs that came. So it's that internalized their parents, especially their father's PTSD. It definitely seems like it's way worse on the masculine side. Might be a big part of masculinity being so messed up.
Judging.
Because it's all
You think it's coming from, like, I don't know, for me, like the Eastern European standpoint, especially the Jewish one? Because that's the only one, like, I know I can really speak on. Is people who were from Poland and the Ukraine, especially considering what the war did to those areas.
Mm-hmm.
And just the stories about where my grandpa was stationed. Like, he was born in America, but his siblings weren't, and his parents weren't. And they were in the Ukraine before they went to Poland. And that was in the early part of the century. So by the time he came of age, as as first generation American, he had, went through the Depression. Well, here I'm trying to remember history. Then World War II. Yeah, so he was, probably in his early 20s. Well, I got the census.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who doesn't know, the 1950s census results were released this past Friday. What date is it today? April 4th?
Yep.
So Friday of last week, the 1950 census results were released, and I saw a bunch of stuff that raised eyebrows and really showed who in my family was lying and covering things up, because I knew there was, things that my mom wasn't. Well, my mom gets a hall pass because she was abandoned, probably at birth. So she had to believe whatever story some other relative had told her about her mother, because she only heard about her own mother in very scandalous terms. Like, everyone held my grandmother in contempt.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the adoptees were actually a little better off.
Oh.
Because they wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Being abandoned by your parents was almost better than that in some way, as awful as that is to say.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it would be like being abandoned and left on a farm in Appalachia.
Yeah.
Like,
different trauma.
Yeah.
Whole different trauma.
Left with, yeah.
A lot of trauma, but not the same pattern.
Yeah.
Right? I think your mom was different psychologically.
She wasn't like my dad at all.
No.
She
No, she was
actually,
psychologically totally different than your dad. And I think that she kind of passed on a bit of her psychology, like a part of that unique imprint.
I think.
Yeah, the different, you know, like there's, you know, this is just speaking. We could probably stop for you. This is too long.
Yeah.
To
Oh,
cut
well,
this.
TikTok now gave us a 10-minute limit. It's like it's upping our credit limit. It's like TikTok is a credit card for
It
social
is.
capital.
It's a credit card for social capital. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Well, we have to be careful, or else TikTok will flag this video for
No.
harassment and bullying. Like
Bet.
they did our video of when we were hugging each other and saying "I love you."
Yeah, no, this one will probably be. This is just talking. TikTok doesn't seem to care about talking. I think it's
Oh,
when,
words. When I typed words, telling, it's okay, this is safe, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with hugging.
I think
Yeah.
two people,
Two
people,
disabled people
Yeah, two people expressing affection to each other seems like it's
in a non-sexual way.
in a non-sexual way. You don't really see that on TikTok.
No.
That's not content.
I kind of
featured on
feel
TikTok.
like we're Yoko Ono and John Lennon here with when they protested by laying in bed.
Yeah, and broke.
And
They
what
broke
were
the
we
newspaper.
doing?
They
We were
bro-
laying in bed,
Yes.
just giving each other a tight hug and saying, I love you. Interesting. Well, I'm going to have to close this video, but that's an interesting end to talking about World War II and the baby boomers. Do you think they ever saw that? I don't know if my grandparents hugged. I know my dad saw my grandma punch out my grandpa and kick him out of the car up on the Carnegie Bridge.
Yeah.
That was in Cleveland, Ohio, 1958.
That's a big bridge to be left.
1958, the Carnegie Bridge. He walked all the way back to Garfield Heights. That's in Ohio, baby, by LTV Steel. He had to walk all the way from LTV Steel area to the suburbs of Garfield Heights.
It's a couple-hour walk.
Well, he was a mailman,
Yeah.
and he was in the war, so I guess
Yeah.
he
And it was
he
like,
was like used to being in ditches
Yeah.
and crap.
Walk 5 miles. Who cares?
Yeah.
5 miles.
And that was like one punch she got into how many times she had been punched. So
I guess maybe.
get him where you can get him, I guess.
Maybe he just like said like, yeah, I had that coming. And, okay, I'll walk home.
And
Okay,
my
you're
dad and my aunt just witnessed this, and Dad said that it was like silent the whole way home.
The kids don't talk after that.
No. I
They
even
stay real quiet.
forget what my grandpa said to her. Like, I'm not going to ask Dad about it either. Like, hey, remember that time your mom punched Grandpa and kicked him out of the car?
I need it for TikTok.
Okay, well.
Need it for TikTok.